Hey everybody, I'm Stefan for Cgtuts.com, and in this tutorial we are going to continue working on our 3D laptop in Cinema 4D. We have to create 3 more scenes for the final sequence. So let's get started. We need to delete the let's see what we need to delete. We have a couple of soft boxes here in our scene, and let's see which we are going to delete or turn off. We are going to turn off this one for the scene and this one, and we want basically to keep only this one here on the right side and the top one. And now we need to delete the camera in the target and the circle, because we have to set up a brand new animation for this one. So first of all, let's create a no object. So let's create a no, and let's call this one target, and let's go to the coordinates and just move it around here. And let's go to the splines and create a new circle, and go to the object for the circle and change the plane. And now let's go to the coordinates for the circle and let's change them, and basically use the same coordinates that we used for the no object. And now let's go to the circle and let's change the radius of the circle, as well as go to the coordinates and just move it up like so. And now we need to create a new camera and apply a align to spline tag and drop the circle spline, as well as a target tag, and put the target object here. And now let's go to the camera, go to object and set the focal length to 30 millimeters, and let's see through our camera. Let's rotate it, and 30 millimeters looks like like too wide, so we need to zoom it a bit. We want to see only a few of the keys on the keyboard. And what we need to do is to animate our camera, and we are going to use this to animate it. And first of all, we need to set the duration of our timeline to 62 frames. And let's go to the first frame, and basically what we need to do is to delete the keyframes on the laptop when it opens. So let's go to the laptop no object, and let's go to the top part, and let's switch to the timeline. Go to the window timeline, and let's select this and just delete it. So go to the first frame, enable the camera, let's collapse the laptop and go to the align to spline tag, and for start we want the position to be 72, and let's set a keyframe and go to the end of the timeline and just make a slight rotation like so. And again, let's set a keyframe, and we want this animation to be linear, so let's go to the timeline and select this and just make it linear, and let's play the animation. And that's it for our animation. And don't forget to export 2 passes, one with the keyboard clean and one with only the letters. And don't forget to load the material for the letters in the luminance channel, because otherwise when we turn off the lights and everything is black, they are going to be invisible. So that's why we need to load this into the luminance channel. Here I loaded the file, so you have it. I'm going to save the project. that's it for the first scene. Now let's go to the perspective view and let's see. This is the top white, and probably we need to change it a little bit. So let's go to the white properties and just reduce the amount of white a bit, and let's go to the second white here and decrease the white as well, and probably you can set this color to a bit of a bluish color, just a bit, and increase the radius like more. And let's go to the camera and do a quick render to see how it is going to look like, and it's too slow because of the anti-aliasing, so let's turn off the ambient occlusion and the anti-aliasing for this render, and let's do a render. And it takes longer to render because of the blurry reflections and because we have a super close-up shot, but basically that's the idea for this animation. So let's don't waste time, let's save, and I'm going to open the next project that we are going to animate for the scene 5. Here is our scene 5 project file, and for this scene what we need to do is to animate another camera. And let's go to the laptop and let's go to the top part, go to the coordinates, and just let's see, we need to go to the window and timeline and just delete the curve because we don't want any animation here. We want the laptop to be closed. So that's for the laptop. Let's close this, and first of all we are going to create a new null object, and let's call it target. And for this we need to set the duration to 59 frames for the timeline. Let's go to the first frame and let's set the coordinates for the null object. We need to set this to -200, -50, and this one 0, and just set a keyframes and move to the end of the timeline and just move it slightly, and -100 and 190. So we need to move it like so, and what we need to do is to create a circle and go to the object and change the plane for the circle. And let's go to the first frame and set this to 2100 because we want to start with a wide shot and just zoom in a bit. So let's set a keyframe for that and move to the end of the timeline and set this to 1600 and set a keyframe, and go to the coordinates and move it 100 centimeters on the y-axis because we want it to be about here. And we need to create a new camera, and just let's enable this and go to object and set the focal length to 20 millimeters. As you can see, we have a pretty wide angle camera right now, and let's apply our tags. So let's go to Cinema 4D tags, align to spline, and drop our spline here, and let's go to Cinema 4D tags and target and drop our target here, and we need to animate the align to spline. So let's go to the first frame of our composition, and let's see, we want to start from maybe this angle here, and what we need to do is to rotate our camera. So at the first frame we need to set the rotation to 10 here, and at the end we need to set this to 0 and just set another keyframe. And now let's go to the first frame and go to the align to spline tag and set this to like 40 and set a keyframe, and move to the end of the timeline and set this to 59 and set a keyframe. And if you look at our animation, it looks like so far, and we need to tweak the curves a bit. So let's go to window timeline, and we are interested only in the, let's see, if we select the rotation we need to make this linear, as well as all the other curves. And the only curve that we are interested in, let's make this one linear as well, and the only curve that we are interested is the curve for the align to spline tag, which animates the rotation of our camera. So let's select this curve, and let's see, we need to start so here, just like so. And what I forgot to do is to move like 10 frames and set the position to 50 and set another keyframe. And now if we open the timeline we have another point to work with, and we need to select this one and make it just like so, and just move it like that. And if we play the animation you can see that we have a very quick start and just a bit slow at the end. We are slowing down, so that's the look we are going after. And we can stop this, and let's just save the project and move on to setting up the lights for this scene. So let's zoom out here and see, we are going to need exactly 3 lights for the scene. So let's see, we are going to need this right, let's see, right, this is the back white, so this left white we are going to turn it off. Probably we're going to need this white here, the back white, and we are going to keep the same settings. We're going to probably turn off the top white, and we are going to need this right back white here, and let's see, we are going to need this white here as well. So let's do a render and see how the scene looks like. As you can see, the render is pretty slow. You can see how the render looks like, so let's don't waste more time. Just stop this, save the project, and open the next file for the final scene. Here is the scene 6 project file. So let's start by creating a new object again, and let's name this target. And for this scene we need to set this to let's see, 230 frames. It's the longest scene in the project. And go to the first frame of the timeline, select the null, and let's set it to 400. Let's set a keyframe and let's move to frame 180 and just rise it up just a bit more, and set a keyframe and let's create a circle for the camera, and let's change the plane of the circle and let's make it like 2500, and go to the first frame and set a keyframe and go for the Y position, set a keyframe as well, and we need to move to frame 180 and animate the circle. Let's set this to 1450 and let's go to the end of the timeline and let's set the radius to 4000 and set a keyframe. That's for the circle, and let's see, we need to zoom out and we need to create a camera and turn it on and set a align to spline tag and drop the circle and set align a target tag and set the target object as well. Select the align to spline and just set this to 75, which is right in front of us. It's a front view, and let's play the animation. Here is our animation, how it looks like, and it looks pretty good right now. We need to animate the display, so we need to go to the first frame of the timeline, select the laptop, let's open it and select the top part, and let's close the display and set a keyframe for it, and let's go to frame 180 and just open it up like so, set a keyframe, and we need to go to window and timeline, and the only curve that we are interested is the curve for the no object, so let's select the target position and let's just zoom in, and we need to select this top point here and just drag it like so, and select the bottom and just adjust it like that, and select the circle curves and make them linear, as well as the probably keep the opening of the laptop like so, and let's just play the animation to see how it looks like. I think it looks pretty good. So with that ready, let's save and let's see which whites we are going to use for this scene. So let's switch off our camera and let's see. Basically this is the setup we are going for, and let's select the top white, and probably we can adjust it a bit, like 500, because we want to highlight this top part of the laptop. We want to get some nice specular highlights, so we can move it even more. And let's turn on the camera, and if we turn on the interactive render region, we can see how our render is going to look like. and we need to turn the ambient occlusion and the anti-aliasing for the final render, and make sure we render again 2 separate passes, because when we have opening of the laptop, this green white is going to be cast on the screen in this part, and it's going to have some nasty blurry reflections that we don't want. So what we need to do is to render it once without the green white and once with the green white, and just mask out the top part. It's not a big deal. So that's it for this tutorial. Now we are finished with animating everything. Let's check the render settings, and everything looks good here. Make sure that you export your object buffers for the screen in the touchpad, as well as a external compositing tag for the floor, and also make sure that for all the projects you save a compositing file, just in case. You will probably need the camera position and floor position and stuff like that, and mostly we want this on the scenes when we have the screen and these parts like touchpad and the floor where the camera is moving, and we want to put a video on the screen of the laptop. So basically you have to export and save this After Effects compositing project file only for these scenes, but I encourage you to do it for all of the scenes, just in case, just if you need to add something unexpected later on in the project. So that's it for this tutorial. We are finished with the 3D part of our laptop spot, so we are going to continue in After Effects, compositing all the CG passes and finishing the project. So yeah, that's it. Hope you liked the tutorial and find it useful. Once again, I'm Stefan for Cgtuts.com, and we'll see you in the next tutorial.